before I show you a prompt in action, I need to define what goal is, /goal, and I need to define what /loop is. When you use /goal, you're essentially telling Claude, in this case, but you can do this on ChatGPT, it works the exact same, they both have this functionality, what you want to be achieved. So build this thing, and this is when you're done. You give it the exact conditions for when it needs to complete its work. Technically, you can just prompt an LLM and tell it, I want you to do this, and then technically that's setting a goal, but by using /goal, you set very defined parameters as to what you want completed exactly. And this is very important because it's the only way, as I'll show you in a second, that a loop actually knows when to finish. If the goal is not clearly defined, then, how does the loop know when to stop? So /goal tells the LLM what you are trying to achieve. /loop shows you the interval in which you are trying to achieve that goal. So run this loop every 1 minute, 1 hour, or 1 day. And this addition that the newer models now have, because of how much smarter they are, allow you to achieve goals by running automated tasks around the clock. Or, you could run a loop just for one specific task and it will simply run an inner loop. So to summarize, /goal is the mission, /loop is the interval, the routine. And this has been an amazing addition because it's made work so much more autonomous. And you've probably heard the term AI agents. This is essentially an agentic workflow. If you do what I'm about to show you, you are running AI agents. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Claude will just spin up agents on your behalf. So by understanding looping and scheduling, you're actually using AI agents already. You don't need to build an agent, they're built into Claude. All right, so I just used /goal. I wanted to scan my website. I have a website called marsdeutsche.com.au. It's mainly just for our newsletter. It's not, a fully fleshed out personal brand website, but I wanted to audit it. Maybe I could convert better. So I asked it to audit it like a conversion consultant. I'm paying $5,000. Write the findings to roast.md. When it lists at least 10 specific issues, so this is defining the specificity for the goal here, every issue has a severity, the exact location on the page, and a fix I could ship today. And the top 3 are ranked by revenue impact. Every item must reference something actually on the page, no generic advice, or stop after 12 turns. If you don't know how to write a goal from scratch, you can just use AI to write a goal. You can basically say, look, I want you to review my website. What would be the best prompt for /goal to have a defined set of deliverables? This isn't as important if you're just asking for a single task like this, but if you're actually running a loop, it's very important to have a defined goal. By the way, this is what my website actually looks like. It's for the Mars High Club newsletter, basically. It's a very basic website. I'm sure it'll have some feedback. What it's actually doing is it's reading the HTML, so it can actually look into the site, not just the visuals, but also like the back end. So it can also help you with optimization here. So because this is /goal, this is essentially just operating like a normal prompt, but with more specificity. I'm just telling it exactly what to do, basically. While that's running, let's set up a loop and then we'll check back in on it. So a loop starts with a goal. So I'm asking it to fetch the latest uploads from my YouTube channel. So for example, if you were a YouTube content creator and you wanted to look at your data from your competitors, so you wanted to see what topics overlap with your niche, their angles, their titles, look for patterns with their thumbnails, to try and spot outliers, you can essentially give it the channel and you can run a loop so you can tell it what intervals to look at the channel. So you might do this daily, but for the example of this video, I'm going to show you on the 1 minute time frame what this looks like on my channel, which is obviously AI Edge. So you can see that it's setting up a 1 minute loop and running the first iteration now. So I've given it the loop, which is the interval, and the goal, what I want it to do. All right, now let's flick back to our Claude Code session. All right, so it's done. It audited my website. It basically summarized it. So firstly, there's no identity or value prop. I agree. 2, there's 0 social proof. I agree. We're actually working on a new website to add that. 3, we have live template pace holders. So it's actually, seen that if you click through, they don't even actually work, which is true because it can scan the HTML. So this is all really good feedback. And then it created an MD, so a markdown file of all the things we can actually ship today. And the best thing about Claude Code is now I could just ask it to ship these things. Of course, then I need to connect, Versal or the domain my website is being hosted on, the provider, but it can actually do things on your behalf. So when you start thinking about AI like this, defining it, giving it a goal and then empowering it, so giving it the ability to change things, it can just overhaul your entire business overnight. And we're constantly running loops in our business I'll actually show you my Slack environment in a future video. It's very, very cool to just achieve stuff essentially while I'm sleeping. So that was the first goal we set. For the second demo that we're looking at, basically where it's scanning my YouTube channel to see results, it's now running a 1-minute looping process. So you can see the loop's completed. It's just meandering while it's waiting for the loop to fire again in 1 minute. And you can see the loop counter is out of 8 because I've defined how many loops I wanted to complete. And you can see if you click on my niche, MD, it's created a template, which at the end of the process, it will update where it, has scanned the videos on the feed, the audience, the topics, etc. If you want to stop the loop, you can just say, stop the loop like this, and it will stop it. What's very cool is scheduling. So if you want to schedule at a particular time every day, you can also use /schedule every day at 6 a.m. because the goal covers the mission, the loop covers the interval, but the schedule covers the exact time. If you want to cancel a loop, by the way, you can always go like /loop cancel as well.